Mia gasped. What? Claire whispered. Ethan. I turned away. Mia, I need you here. I'm coming. Bring Dad. Okay. The call ended. Ryan shook his head. You think your family can save you? No. Then why call them? Because I need someone who loves me. Claire started crying harder. I looked at her. I'm sorry, Claire. I should have realized that I was the only one fighting for this marriage. Ryan stepped toward the door. You'll understand soon. I stopped him. Wait. He turned. You came here to destroy my marriage. At least tell me the whole truth. He smiled. You still think this is about your marriage? What else is it about? Money is only the beginning. I stared at him. What did Claire promise you? He leaned closer. She promised me everything you built. My hands went cold. Why? Because she didn't marry you for love. Claire whispered, Ryan, please. He ignored her. He looked directly into my eyes. Ethan, she didn't marry you for love. I could barely breathe. He smiled. She married you because you were useful. I heard those words clearly. Then I looked at Claire. For the first time, I did not see the woman I married. I saw a stranger wearing her face. And, somehow, that hurt more than the betrayal itself. What is that? A copy of the agreement. Ryan, give it to me. He moved away. No, Ethan. I took the paper. My hands trembled as I read. It mentioned my company, my voting shares, and a transfer clause. My name was there. Claire's signature was there. And another name appeared beneath it. James Blake. Ryan's father. I looked. This is a takeover agreement. Ryan nodded. Exactly. Mia whispered, Claire, why? Claire collapsed into a chair. Ryan said it was the only way. I stared at her. He told you to steal my company. I was afraid. You were afraid of him, but never afraid of destroying me. I was confused. I shook my head. No, you made a choice. Dad took the document from my hand. Son, listen to me. I looked at him. Don't let anger decide what you do next. I laughed bitterly. What should I do? Protect yourself. And revenge. Dad's eyes met mine. Revenge feels good for one night. Regret can last forever. Ryan walked toward the door. You should listen to your father. I looked at him. You think you won. I know I won. Then why are you leaving? His smile disappeared. Because the next step happens tomorrow. What next step? He opened the door. Ask your wife. I turned toward Claire. What happens tomorrow? She looked terrified. I don't know. Ryan left. The door closed. Mia came beside me. I looked at Claire for a long moment. Tell me everything. She whispered, I'm sorry. That isn't an answer. I was going to leave you. I know. I thought I could fix it. You can't fix betrayal with another lie. She covered her face. I loved you once. I felt my throat tighten. Once? She nodded. I looked at the wedding photo again. Then I need to know one thing. She slowly looked at me. Was I ever your husband? Her lips trembled. Yes. Or was I just a man paying your bills? She couldn't answer. Her silence gave me the answer. I walked toward the window. Outside, the street was empty. Inside, my marriage was already dead. Mia came beside me. Ethan, I'm okay. No, you're not. I will be. Dad said quietly. That is what matters now. Something about it bothered me. The dates were wrong. The transfer was scheduled for tomorrow morning. But Ryan had said the next step would happen tomorrow. I checked the final page. There was another clause. My heart stopped. I looked at Claire. What is this? She stared at the paper. I don't know. You signed it. I didn't read everything. Dad took the page. His face changed. What? He looked at me. Son, this isn't only about the company. I stepped closer. What else? Dad pointed at the final clause. I read it twice. My blood ran cold. If the transfer succeeded, I would lose control of the company and become personally responsible for every debt connected to it. Claire had not just helped them take my business. She had helped them bury me under its debts. I looked at her. You knew. She shook her head. No. I believed her for only 1 second. Then I remembered Ryan's smile. Someone had planned every step. Someone had been waiting for me to fall. I looked at my father. What do I do now? He answered quietly. First, survive the night. I looked at the clock. 12:47 a.m. I had spent less than an hour learning that my wife had betrayed me. But something inside me had already changed. I was done begging, done chasing, done pretending love could excuse everything. I picked up the agreement. I'm going to find out who planned this. Mia nodded. I'll help. Dad said, so will I. I looked at Claire. She was crying silently. For the first time, I felt no need to comfort her. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello. A woman's cold voice said, Ethan Carter? Yes. You don't know me. Who are you? What do you want? I want to warn you. About what? There was a pause. Your wife is not the person you should be afraid of. My grip tightened around the phone. Then who should I fear? Her answer was quiet. Everyone who thinks you will break. The call ended. I stared at the screen. Dad asked, who was that? I looked toward the dark window. I don't know. Then I looked at the agreement in my hand. But I think she knows exactly what is coming. And for the first time that night, I stopped thinking about what I had lost. I started thinking about what I could still save. I used to think a cold marriage could still be saved. That was the lie I told myself every morning. Claire, are you coming home for dinner tonight? I don't know, Ethan. You said that yesterday. I'm busy. You're always busy. I have work. Stop making everything about you. I'm not. I just miss you. Silence. Then the call ended. I stared at my phone for several seconds before putting it down. We had been married for 3 years. I still remembered how Claire had held my hand on our wedding day and whispered, I'll never leave you. Back then, I believed every word. Lately, I had started wondering whether she remembered saying them. That evening, I prepared dinner anyway. At 8, the food was cold. At 9, I covered the plates. At 10, I sent her one message. Please come home. We need to talk. She replied almost an hour later. Not tonight. I typed, I love you. I deleted it. Then I typed, okay. I sent that instead. At midnight, I was sitting alone in the living room when someone knocked. 3 slow knocks. I froze. Nobody visited us that late. I walked toward the door. Another knock came. Who is it? No answer. I opened the door. A tall man stood outside in a dark coat. He looked at me like I was the person keeping him from entering his own house. Where is Claire? I stared at him. Who are you? He smiled. Ryan Blake. The name meant nothing to me. Then he stepped closer. I asked where Claire is. I blocked the doorway. You came to my house at midnight and demanded to see my wife. You should explain yourself first. He laughed softly. You really don't know, do you? Know what? Claire's inside, right? My stomach tightened. How do you know my wife? Ryan looked past me. Claire. I turned. Claire was standing at the end of the hallway. She was barefoot, wearing the robe I had bought her last Christmas. Her face went completely pale. Ryan. He smiled. Finally. I looked at her. Who is he? She said nothing. Claire, who is he? Ryan answered for her. I'm a man she loves. The room seemed to lose all its air. I looked at Claire again. Is that true? Ethan, just answer me. She lowered her eyes. Ryan walked inside. I grabbed his arm. Don't. He pulled away. Ask your wife how long this has been happening. I turned toward Claire. How long? Ethan, please. How long? She whispered, 6 months. I felt something inside me break. 6 months. I was going to tell you. When? I don't know. After the divorce? She said nothing. Ryan folded his arms. She was going to leave you. I looked at him. You seem very comfortable in my house. It won't be your house forever. I almost laughed. What does that mean? Claire stepped forward. Ryan, stop. No. He deserves the truth. I looked at her. You brought him here? No. Then why is he here? Ryan answered calmly. Because I'm tired of waiting for her. I stared at Claire. You told him you would leave me? She nodded. When? Soon. Soon. I was scared. Scared of what? Of hurting you. I laughed once, but there was no humor in it. You had 6 months to worry about hurting me. Ethan, I'm sorry. Sorry. I looked around our living room. Every picture on the wall suddenly felt fake. Every memory felt borrowed. I pointed at the wedding photo. Was any of that real? Claire began crying. Yes. Then why did you do this? I don't know. Ryan scoffed. She knows exactly why. I looked at him. You don't get to answer for her. He smiled. You're still protecting her. I clenched my fists. I'm trying not to become someone I hate. Ryan stepped closer. You should hate me. I already do. Good. Ryan, Claire warned. He ignored her. You want to know why she stayed with you? I looked at Claire. She shook her head. Don't. Ryan said, because you were useful. My chest tightened. Useful? She needed your money. Your company. Your name. I turned toward Claire. Tell him to leave. She didn't move. Claire, I'm sorry. That hurt more than anything Ryan had said. I walked to the kitchen and leaned against the counter. I needed air. I needed time. Instead, I heard Ryan say, "You should ask her what she planned to take." I looked back. What? Claire's face changed. Ryan, stop. What did you plan to take from me? Nothing. Ryan laughed. Tell him. Ryan, what were you going to take? Claire covered her face. I never wanted it to go this far. I stared at her. Go this far. Ryan said, she wanted more than your money. I felt my heartbeat pounding. What more? He smiled. Your company. I shook my head. No. Ryan's smile widened. And your shares. I looked at Claire. Is that true? She was crying now. I was going to explain. You plan to take my company? I didn't know how to stop. You signed something? She stayed silent. I stepped toward her. What did you sign? Nothing final. Yet. She looked away. I understood. There was something else. Something worse. I picked up my phone. I'm calling Mia. Claire looked at me. Ethan, don't. She's my sister. Please don't tell her. Why? Because she hates me. She should hear the truth. I called Mia. She answered after 2 rings. Ethan? It's midnight. What happened? I tried to speak. Nothing came out. Ethan, I need you. Her voice changed immediately. Are you hurt? No. Is Claire there? Yes. Then what happened? I looked at my wife. Someone came to our house. Who? Ryan Blake. Silence. Who is Ryan Blake? I looked at him. He was smiling. I said, Claire's lover. I did not sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard Ryan's voice. She didn't marry you for love. I sat at the kitchen table while Mia reviewed the agreement again. Ethan, this is serious. I know. You could lose everything. I know. Dad placed the papers down. Then stopped thinking about Claire. I looked at him. How am I supposed to do that? You can't change what she did. I can still find out why. Mia shook her head. Why does it matter? Because I need to know who planned this. Dad nodded. That matters. I looked at the clock. Who was that woman on the phone? I don't know, Mia said. Maybe she's connected to the company. Then call your lawyer. I already did. And he isn't answering. Mia stared at me. That's not normal. No. Dad leaned forward. Who else knows about this agreement? Claire, Ryan, James Blake, and whoever called you. I nodded. A few seconds later, my phone vibrated. A message appeared. Meet me at Sterling Tower. 9 a.m. Come alone. Asterisk, asterisk. No name. Mia read it over my shoulder. Don't go. I have to. Ethan, you don't know who sent it. That is exactly why I'm going. Dad sighed. Take someone with you. The message says alone. Then don't go. I looked at him. Dad, if someone knows about the agreement, I need answers. He studied my face. Promise me one thing. What? Don't let revenge make your decisions. I nodded. I promise. At 9, I entered Sterling Tower. I had heard the name before. Everyone in the business world knew Sterling Holdings. And everyone knew its owner. Victoria Sterling. People called her the Ice Queen. I walked into the private office. A woman stood beside the window. She didn't turn around. You're late. I checked my watch. It's exactly 9. By 30 seconds. I stared at her. You're Victoria Sterling. She finally turned. Yes. I had expected someone colder. I hadn't expected someone so calm. Did you call me last night? Yes. Why? Because you're about to lose your company. I stiffened. You know about the agreement. I know more than that. Then tell me. She pointed toward a chair. Sit. I'd rather stand. Fine. She walked toward her desk. Your wife signed an agreement with James Blake. I know. You don't know everything. Then explain. She opened a folder. James Blake has been buying your company's debt for 8 months. My stomach tightened. Why? To control you. I stared at her. How do you know? Because he tried the same thing with me. You? Yes. Why? Because my company was worth more than his. I looked at the folder. And Ryan. He is his father's weapon. I frowned. Ryan came to my house last night. I know. I looked up sharply. How? Victoria's expression didn't change. I have people watching James. You were watching me? No. Then why help me? She leaned back. Because I hate people who use trust as a weapon. I almost laughed. My wife used trust as a weapon. Exactly. He studied hard? You've been betrayed too. Her eyes hardened. That is not your concern. Then don't expect me to trust you. I don't. That answer surprised me. She pushed another document toward me. Read this. I picked it up. My company had borrowed money from a private investment firm. I recognized the firm's name. Blake Capital. Victoria nodded. They own 40% of your debt. And the other 60? Being purchased. By whom? 3 shell companies. Owned by James Blake. My hands tightened around the paper. So he planned everything. Not everything. What does that mean? Victoria looked at me. Claire made choices too. I looked away. I know. You're still defending her. No, you are. I just don't understand why she did it. Then stop trying. I looked at her. What? You keep looking for a reason that makes her betrayal acceptable. I want the truth. The truth is simple. She leaned closer. She chose herself. I said nothing. Victoria continued. You can spend months asking why she did it. Or you can protect yourself. I looked at the documents again. What do you want from me? Nothing. Then why help me? Because James Blake wants me gone too. So we're enemies of the same man. For now. I almost smiled. You really are the Ice Queen. She raised an eyebrow. People call me worse things. Why? Because I don't pretend to care when I don't. I looked down. That must be nice. It is. I'm not like that. I noticed. She sat back. You still love Claire. I didn't answer. Victoria nodded. That is your weakness. I know. Then remove it. Ow! Stop asking her to choose you. I looked at her. What if I still want her? Then you're not ready to fight. Her words hurt because they were true. My phone rang. Claire. I stared at the screen. Victoria said, Answer. I did. Hello. Ethan. What do you want? Can we talk? We talked last night. I need to explain. You had 6 months to explain. I know. Then explain now. She was silent. Ethan, Ryan isn't what you think. I almost laughed. He's your lover. I know. He came to my house. I know. He told me you planned to take my company. I didn't want that. Then why did you sign? I was scared. Of Ryan? Yes. Why? She began crying. He had something against me. What? I can't tell you. Then don't call me. Ethan, please. I closed my eyes. Claire, I don't hate you. You don't. No. What do you feel? I looked at Victoria. Then I answered. Nothing. Claire went silent. Ethan, I have to go. Please don't. I ended the call. Victoria watched me. You lied. What? You still feel something? I looked at her. Of course I do. Then why say nothing? Because if I admit I still love her, I'll keep making excuses for her. Victoria nodded. Good. I stood. What happens now? You fight. Ow. First, freeze the transfer. Can I? Yes. Second, find out what Claire signed. And third, make Ryan believe you are broken. I stared at her. You want me to pretend? I want you to become unpredictable. Why? Because arrogant people make mistakes when they think they have already won. I smiled faintly. You've done this before. Many times. Against James? Yes. What happened? I won. I laughed. Then why is he still fighting you? Because losing taught him nothing. My phone vibrated. Mia had sent a message. Sophia wants to meet you. She says she knows the truth about Claire. Asterisk, asterisk. I looked at Victoria. You know Sophia Reed? Yes. What do you know about her? She's Claire's closest friend. Can I trust her? Victoria shook her head. Trust nobody completely. I remember my father's warning. I nodded. Where should I meet her? Public place. Why? Because you're no longer dealing with a marriage problem. I looked at her. What am I dealing with? Victoria's voice became colder. A war. I left Sterling Tower and met Sophia at a quiet cafe. She looked nervous. Ethan, why did you ask to meet me? I owe you the truth. Then tell me. She looked around. Claire didn't start this. Ryan did. No. James. She shook her head. Then who? Sophia lowered her voice. Claire's past. I frowned. What does that mean? She made a mistake years ago. What mistake? Debt. How much? Enough to destroy her. Who owns it? She looked at me. Ryan. My stomach dropped. He used her debt to control her? Yes. Then why did she stay with him? Because he threatened to expose her. I leaned forward. What was she hiding? Sophia's eyes filled with tears. I can't tell you. I stood. Then this meeting is pointless. Wait. I stopped. Sophia whispered. She did love you. I turned around. Don't say that. She did. Then she wouldn't have betrayed me. She was afraid. Fear explains lying. It doesn't excuse destroying my life. Sophia nodded. I know. I walked away. My phone rang before I reached the door. Victoria. Ethan. What? Come back to Sterling Tower. What? I found something. What? Her voice was unusually tense. Claire's signature isn't the only signature on that agreement. I stopped walking. Whose is it? Someone you trust. My heart sank. Who? She paused. Your lawyer. I closed my eyes. Another betrayal. Another person I thought was safe. I turned toward the street. Victoria. Yes. I think I'm finally starting to understand. What? I don't have a marriage to save. I looked at the papers in my hand. I have a life to protect. Victoria was silent for a moment. Then she said, now you're ready. For what? To stop being the victim. I tightened my grip on the phone. Then let's begin. And for the first time since midnight, I wasn't thinking about Claire. I was thinking about how to survive. I returned to Sterling Tower before noon. Victoria was waiting with Marcus. Sit down, Victoria said. I'd rather know what you found. Marcus placed a folder on the table. You found your lawyer's signature, he said. We found something worse. I opened the folder. What is this? Payments, Victoria said. Ryan has been moving money through 3 companies. I scanned the pages. Where does it lead? To James Blake. I looked up. So the takeover was planned. Months ago, Marcus said. I leaned back. Then why involve Claire? Victoria answered, because Ryan needed access to your home, your accounts, and your trust. I felt my jaw tighten. He used my wife. He used everyone, Victoria said. I closed the folder. I need to know what Ryan had over Claire. You will, Sophia said from the doorway. I turned. You followed me? I came because I owe you the truth. Marcus looked at Victoria. Should I stay? I answered before she could. Yes. Sophia sat down. Claire had a debt, she said. How much? $200,000. That isn't enough to explain this. It was to Claire. Why? Because the debt came from a mistake she made before your marriage. I stared at her. What mistake? Sophia swallowed. She borrowed money from Ryan's father. For what? To cover a failed business. I frowned. Claire never told me she had a business. She didn't want you to know. Why? Because she was ashamed. I looked away. And Ryan found out? Yes. Ow! James showed in the records. So Ryan used the debt against her. At first. I looked back at Sophia. At first. Sophia nodded. He threatened to expose her unless she helped him get close to you. My stomach turned. And she agreed. She was scared. Understand fear. I tapped the table. But fear doesn't explain 6 months. Sophia lowered her eyes. You're right. Tell me the part you don't want to say. She took a breath. Claire eventually loved him. The room went silent. I felt something inside me go completely still. No. Sophia looked at me. I wish I could say it wasn't true. She was threatened. Yes. Then why stay? Because the threat stopped being the only reason. I closed my eyes. That was the last excuse I had been holding. I had wanted to believe Claire was trapped. I had wanted to believe she still loved me. But now I had nothing left to defend. I opened my eyes. Did she ever plan to leave Ryan? No. Did she ever plan to return to me? Sophia shook her head. No. I nodded slowly. Thank you. Sophia started crying. I'm sorry, Ethan. I looked at her. You knew. I knew about the affair. For how long? For months. And you said nothing. I was afraid. Everyone was afraid. Sophia wiped her eyes. I deserve your anger. I don't have enough anger left for everyone. She looked at me sadly. What do you have left? I answered, a plan. Victoria smiled slightly. Good. Marcus opened another folder. Then let's show you the rest. I sat again. Marcus pointed to several transfers. Ryan borrowed money from James. For the takeover? Yes. Why would James finance his own son? Because Ryan promised him control of your shares. I stared at the documents. What did Ryan get? 20% of the new company. I laughed bitterly. So Claire was never the partner. No, Victoria said. She was disposable. I looked at her, and Ryan knew that. He knew from the beginning. Marcus added, "We found a message." He handed me his phone. I read it. Ryan had written to a private account. "Once Ethan signs, Claire is finished. I'll leave her before the papers are processed. Asterisk, asterisk." I read it twice. My hands went cold. He planned to abandon her. Victoria nodded. He never loved her. I put the phone down. She destroyed our marriage for a man who planned to throw her away. Yes. I almost felt sorry for her. Then I remembered my empty bedroom. "No," I whispered. "I won't carry her regret for her." Victoria looked at me carefully. "That is the right choice." "Istod det här? Why do you care so much?" "I don't." "That isn't true." She looked away. Marcus suddenly became quiet. I said, "Victoria." She sighed. "You want to know why I became the Ice Queen?" "Yes. I wasn't always like this." I waited. "Years ago, I trusted someone completely. Your husband. My fiancé. What happened?" "He stole my company." I stared at her. "Ow." "He convinced me to put everything in his name while we prepared for our wedding. And then he disappeared with the money." I felt my chest tighten. "Did you love him?" "Yes." Her answer was almost a whisper. "What did you do?" "I rebuilt everything." "Alone?" "Yes." I looked at her differently. "So that's why you don't trust anyone." Trust became expensive. I said quietly, "I understand." Victoria looked at me. "Do you?" "I trusted Claire with my life. And she broke it." "Yes. You could become like me. Cold. Untouchable." I shook my head. "I don't want that." "Why?" "Because if betrayal changes everything good inside me, then the people who hurt me win twice." Victoria stared at me. For the first time, I saw something soften in her eyes. Marcus cleared his throat. "I think we have enough evidence to stop the transfer." I looked at him. "Can you do it?" "With Victoria's lawyers, yes." "Then do it." Marcus nodded. "You're not afraid anymore." I smiled faintly. "I am." "Then why aren't you shaking?" "Because I'm finally afraid of the right thing." Victoria asked, "What's that?" "Becoming someone I don't recognize." She nodded. "Then I will help you." I looked at her. "Why?" "Because I know what it feels like to rebuild from nothing." I stood. "What do you need from me?" "Complete trust." I hesitated. "That is difficult." "I know. I've just learned that the person I trusted most lied to me for months." "I know. So don't ask me for blind trust." "I won't." "What will you ask for?" "Trust my actions." I looked into her eyes. "That I can do." "Then we have a deal." Marcus returned to the room. "Before you leave, there is one more message." He showed me the screen. Ryan had written, "Once Ethan loses control, Claire gets nothing." I stared at the sentence. He was going to leave her completely. Yes. I looked at Victoria. Then this wasn't an affair. It was a business deal disguised as love. Victoria nodded. "That is what I wanted you to understand." I closed my eyes. "I feel sorry for Claire." "You can feel sorry for her," Victoria said. "Just don't let pity put you back in the cage." I opened my eyes. "I won't." Marcus smiled. "I believe you now." "Why?" "Because you stopped asking how to save your marriage." I looked at the documents and started asking how to save myself. "Exactly." Victoria stood. "Now go home." I picked up the files. "Victoria." "Yes." "Thank you." "Don't thank me yet." "Why?" "Because tomorrow will be harder." I nodded. "Then I'll be ready." She looked at me for a moment. That's all I wanted to hear. I left the office knowing the truth would hurt. But at least it was finally the truth. I carried the truth home with me. My phone rang. "Claire." I almost ignored it. Victoria said, "Answer." I did. "Hello." "Ethan, what do you want?" "I need to see you." "Why?" "Please." "Claire, there is nothing left to discuss." "I know. Then why call?" "I found something." My eyes narrowed. "What?" "I can't tell you over the phone." "Where?" "Your house." I almost refused. Then I heard her voice crack. "Ethan, please." I was wrong. I looked at Victoria. She silently nodded. "Come." The call ended. Marcus asked, "Do you trust her?" "No." "Then why let her come?" "Because she said she found something." Victoria stood. "Be careful." "I will." She caught my arm before I left. "Ethan." I turned. "Don't let sympathy make you forget the truth." "I won't." I reached the door. Victoria said, "Whatever she tells you, remember one thing." "What?" "You don't owe anyone your old life." I nodded. When I reached home, Claire was already waiting. Her eyes were red. She stood the moment I entered. Ethan, what did you find? She walked toward me. I was wrong. I know. No, you don't understand. Then explain. She began crying. Ryan never loved me. I said nothing. He used me. I know. He planned to leave me. I know. She looked shocked. Ow, I have proof. She covered her mouth. Then she whispered the words that made my blood run cold. Ethan, I was wrong. Ryan never loved me. She stepped closer. But there's one thing you still don't know. I stared at Claire. What don't I know? She wiped her tears. Ryan wasn't working alone. I already know about James. No, there's more. Then tell me. She took a shaky breath. Your lawyer was working with him. I know. Her eyes widened. You know, Victoria found the evidence. Claire looked down. Then you know everything. I don't. She slowly sat down. James wanted your company. Ryan wanted your shares. Your lawyer wanted money. And you? I wanted to escape. By destroying me? I thought I had no choice. You always had a choice. I know. Then why didn't you choose me? She began crying again. Because I was weak. I felt anger rise inside me. Don't call yourself weak to make me feel sorry for you. I'm not. Then what are you saying? I betrayed you. Yes. I lied to you. Yes. I chose Ryan. Yes. She covered her face. I hate myself for it. I looked away. I don't want your hate. What do you want? The truth. She lowered her hands. Ryan promised me that if I helped him, he would pay my debt and protect me from James. And you believed him? Yes. Then what happened? He started changing. Ow! He stopped hiding his plans. Which plans? He wanted you ruined. My fist tightened. Why? Because James told him that your company would be worth billions after the takeover. And you? I was supposed to disappear. After helping them steal everything. Yes. I looked at her. Did you ever love me? She cried quietly. Yes. When? Before I became this person. I nodded. That answer is enough. Ethan, please. No. Please give me one chance. I can't. I can change. So can I. She stared at me. What does that mean? It means I won't return to the life that broke me. She stood. I know I don't deserve you. You're right. I still love you. I won't answer that. Why? Because I don't want to hurt you. She looked confused. You're refusing because you don't want to hurt me? No. I'm refusing because I finally understand that loving someone doesn't mean belonging to them. She cried harder. I walked to the door. Ethan. I stopped. I'm sorry. I nodded without turning. I believe you. She whispered, thank you. But forgiveness doesn't mean another chance. I left her there. When I reached Sterling Tower, Victoria was waiting. How did it go? I ended it. For good. For good. She nodded. Are you sure? Yes. Then we moved forward. Marcus placed a tablet on the table. The board meeting starts in 1 hour. I looked at Victoria. James will be there. Yes. Ryan too. Yes. And my lawyer? He has already been removed. I smiled. Good. Victoria looked at me. Are you nervous? Yes. Good. Why? Because nervous people pay attention. I laughed. You always have an answer. Usually. Marcus cleared his throat. I have the evidence. Show me. He opened the files. We have the debt transfers, the shell companies, the messages between Ryan and James, and the agreement signed by your lawyer. Enough to stop them? Enough to destroy their case. I looked at Victoria. What about the money they moved? We can recover most of it. And the reputation damage? She answered, that depends on what you do next. What should I do? Tell the truth. That's simple. Yes. Marcus nodded. People forgive mistakes more easily than lies. I looked at the screen. Then no more lies. Victoria stepped closer. One warning. What? James will try to provoke you. Let him. Ryan will insult you. I'll ignore him. James may threaten you. I'll document it. She smiled. You're learning. I had a good teacher. Her smile disappeared. Don't say things like that. Why? Because I don't know what to do with them. I looked at her. You don't have to do anything. She turned away. The boardroom filled slowly. I walked in beside Victoria. Ryan laughed. Look who brought his savior. I ignored him. James stood. Ethan, this meeting is unnecessary. I disagree. You've lost control of your company. No. He smiled. You haven't read the documents. I have. Then you know the transfer is legal. I placed a folder on the table. Your transfer is based on fraud. His smile vanished. Ryan stepped forward. Don't listen to him. I looked at Ryan. I have enough evidence to prove everything. You're bluffing. Victoria nodded to Marcus. The screen behind us turned on. Messages appeared. Ryan's messages. James's messages. My lawyer's payments. Every transfer. Every secret agreement. The room became silent. Ryan stared at the screen. Where did you get those? I answered, from people you underestimated. James slammed his hand on the table. This is confidential information. It became my concern when you used it to steal my company. You don't understand business. I understand betrayal. Ryan laughed nervously. You needed Victoria to do all this. I looked at him. No, you couldn't have done it alone. I didn't. You admit it? I had help. Victoria looked at me. I continued. But the evidence is mine. Ryan shook his head. You think she's helping you because she cares? I stayed calm. I don't care why she helped me. James stepped closer. You should be careful. Is that a threat? You don't want to make an enemy of me. I smiled. James, you already made yourself my enemy. He pointed at me. I can destroy you. I answered. You already tried. The board members began whispering. Marcus stood. Before anyone votes, I have one final document. He placed it on the table. This proves James' plan to force the company into bankruptcy after taking control. Someone gasped. James shouted, That's false. Marcus replied, The payment trail says otherwise. Ryan looked at his father. You told me this would work. James turned toward him. Be quiet. Ryan's face changed. You said I would get 20%. You'll get nothing. Ryan stared at him. You promised me. James snapped. You were useful. I watched Ryan's face fall. For a moment, I understood exactly what Claire had felt. Then Ryan shouted, You used me too? James answered coldly, That's business. Ryan looked at me. You think you're better than me? No. You think you won? Yes. He stepped forward. You stole everything from me. I shook my head. No, Ryan. I looked directly into his eyes. You lost everything because you believed you were entitled to someone else's life. Security entered. James protested. You can't remove me from my own company. The chairman answered, The board has voted. James stared around the room. You're making a mistake. I said quietly, No. You're facing the consequences. Ryan was escorted out next. He shouted at me. Claire will never love you again. I didn't answer. For once, his words had no power. Outside the building, reporters gathered. Questions came from every direction. Ethan, did your wife betray you? Are you taking legal action? Did James Blake try to steal your company? I looked at Victoria. She nodded. I faced the cameras. Yes. The crowd became silent. My marriage ended because of betrayal. I took a breath. But I won't use that pain to destroy anyone. A reporter asked, Why not? Because I don't want revenge to become my new prison. Victoria looked at me with something I couldn't understand. Later that evening, we stood outside the building. We won, I said. Victoria nodded. You won. We. She looked at me. No. Why? Because this was your fight. You helped me. I did. So it was ours. She looked away. Ethan, I need to tell you something. What? I think I should leave. My chest tightened. Leave. Your life. Why? Because you need time. I've had time. You need more. I stepped closer. Victoria, you've been betrayed, humiliated, and nearly destroyed. I survived. Yes. I rebuilt. Yes. Then why are you leaving? She looked at me. Because I don't want to become another decision you make because you're hurting. I shook my head. You're not. You don't know that. I do. No, Ethan. She took a breath. You need to heal. I am healing. Without me. I stared at her. What? Because I helped you when you were broken. You didn't break me. Claire did. And you helped me stand. That doesn't mean you love me. I felt my heart race. Who said I did? She looked at me. You didn't. Then why are you afraid? Her expression softened. I helped you because I knew what betrayal felt like. She paused. I stayed because somewhere along the way, I started caring about you. I couldn't speak. She looked down. I can't be your replacement for Claire. I stepped closer. Victoria, She shook her head. Don't. I never asked you to replace her. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. No. You think I chose you because I was lonely. She said nothing. I chose you because you saw me when I had nothing left. Her eyes became wet. I don't know if that's enough. It is for me. She looked at me. And if tomorrow you realize you were wrong, then I'll tell you. And if you still love Claire? I don't. She closed her eyes. I waited. Finally, she whispered, I'm afraid. So am I. That isn't romantic. I wasn't trying to be. She laughed softly through her tears. I smiled. Just don't leave tonight. She looked at me. Why? Because for the first time in months, I don't want to go home alone. She hesitated. Then she took my hand. I held it carefully. And for the first time since that midnight knock, I didn't feel like I had lost everything. I felt like I had finally found something worth protecting. Are you busy? No. What? I need to tell you something. You sound nervous. I am. Should I be worried? No. Then tell me. I spent today thinking about our future. There was silence. And I want one with you. Her voice softened. I want one with you too. I smiled. Good. But Ethan. Yes. Promise me something. What? If you ever feel afraid, tell me. I promise. If you ever doubt us, I'll tell you. If you ever feel like running, I'll talk to you first. She laughed. That sounds like a contract. After everything, I like contracts. Not this one. What kind? A promise. I can live with that. Months later, when we announced our engagement, the reaction was not what I expected. A reporter asked me, Are you marrying Victoria because she helped you defeat your ex-wife's lover? I answered calmly, No. Then why? Because I love her. Did Claire approve? I almost laughed. Claire doesn't control my life anymore. The reporter asked, Do you forgive her? I thought about it. Yes. Why? Because forgiveness lets me move forward. Would you ever take her back? No. That answer felt peaceful. Later, Victoria asked, Was that difficult? No. Why? Because I finally stopped confusing forgiveness with returning. She kissed my hand. I'm proud of you. I smiled. I'm proud of us. On our wedding day, I stood beside Victoria and looked at the ring in my hand. She whispered, Are you nervous? Yes. Good. Why? Because I am too. I smiled. Still afraid? A little. So am I. She squeezed my hand. But I'm staying. I am too. When I said my vows, I didn't promise a perfect life. I promised honesty. I promised patience. I promised that I would never use my pain as an excuse to hurt her. When Victoria said, I choose you, I felt the last piece of my old fear disappear. After the ceremony, Dad hugged me. You finally understand. What? Love isn't about never being hurt. Then what is it? Choosing each other anyway. I looked at Victoria. I choose her. She smiled. And I choose you. For the first time, I knew I wasn't escaping my past. I was building a future. I held her hand and remembered the lonely man I had once been. I had begged for love. Now I could simply choose it. That difference changed everything. Victoria smiled. Ready? I nodded. With you, yes. And I walked forward, leaving the midnight behind me forever. I no longer feared losing what had already ended. I only cared about protecting what I had chosen. That was enough. And I smiled. Years passed. Our company grew. Our marriage became quieter than the one I had lost. There were disagreements. There were difficult days. But there was honesty. One evening, Victoria and I sat outside our home. She asked, Do you ever think about that night? I smiled. Sometimes. The night Ryan came? Yes. What do you think now? I looked at her. I used to think that was the night I lost everything. And now I think it was the night my old life ended. She rested her head against my shoulder. Do you regret opening that door? No. Even knowing what happened. Especially knowing what happened. She smiled. I held her hand. I finally understood something I had been too broken to see before. Betrayal had not destroyed me. It had forced me to stop living for someone else's love. I had spent years trying to be enough for someone who had already chosen another life. Then, when I had nothing left, Victoria chose me. Not my money. Not my company. Not my name. Me. I looked at the woman beside me and remembered the man I had been that night. He had been afraid. He had been desperate. He had believed losing Claire meant losing himself. I wished I could go back and tell him one thing. You're going to survive. I smiled. Then I whispered the words I finally understood. At midnight, a man came to my door and stole the life I thought I wanted. Years later, I understood the truth. I didn't lose my life that night. I finally found it. I spent the next 3 months rebuilding my company. Every morning, I walked into my office knowing the same walls had once held my marriage together. Now, they held my future. Mia visited almost every day. You look different, she said. How? You don't check your phone every 5 minutes anymore. I learned. Are you happy? I think I am. Dad sat across from me. Don't rush it. I'm not. You used to think happiness meant having Claire beside you. I was wrong. Mia smiled. What changed? I looked through the window. I stopped asking why she didn't love me. Dad nodded. And what do you ask now? I ask what I want for my life. And I want peace. Mia laughed. That sounds boring. After everything, boring sounds perfect. My company recovered slowly. We canceled the illegal contracts, replaced my lawyer, and rebuilt the board. I refused to speak badly about Claire. One afternoon, Mia asked, "Why don't you hate her?" I did. Then what happened? I got tired. Tired of hating. Yes. Dad said that's strength. I looked at him. I thought strength meant getting revenge. No. What does it mean? Being able to walk away without becoming cruel. His words stayed with me. Claire eventually left the city. Before she left, she sent me one letter. I almost threw it away. Instead, I opened it. Ethan, I know I have no right to ask for forgiveness. I hurt you because I was selfish and afraid. I blamed Ryan, but I made my own choices. I lost the best person I ever had because I was too weak to protect what mattered. I don't expect you to answer. I only wanted you to know that I finally understand. I folded the letter. Mia watched me. Are you going to reply? No. Why? Because silence is the answer she needs. Dad nodded. She accepted the consequences. I hope she finds peace. Mia looked surprised. You don't hate her? No. Why? Because I don't want her living in my heart anymore. I put the letter away. Then I noticed something. Victoria hadn't contacted me in 3 months. I called her. Her number was active. She didn't answer. I tried again. Nothing. I sent one message. Are you okay? No response. I asked Marcus. He hesitated. She's fine. Where is she? I shouldn't tell you. Marcus. He sighed. She went to her family's mountain house. Why? She needed distance. From me? From everything. I drove there the next morning. When I reached the house, Victoria opened the door. She looked surprised. What are you doing here? I came to see you. You shouldn't have. Why? Because you were supposed to heal. I did. She stared at me. You can't know that. I do. You went through a divorce, a business fight, and public humiliation. I survived all of it. And now I choose what happens next. She looked away. Ethan, you shouldn't choose me while you're still recovering. I'm not choosing you because I'm recovering. Then why? Because I love you. She froze. I felt my heart pounding, but I didn't take the words back. She whispered, don't say that. Why? Because I want to believe you. Then believe me. What if you're wrong? Then I'll face it. She shook her head. You don't understand what you're asking. I'm asking you to stop running. I'm afraid. So am I. She looked at me. I'm afraid you'll wake up one day and realize I'm only the woman who helped you after Claire. I stepped closer. You were never her replacement. You can't prove that. I can. Ow. Because I don't miss Claire. She looked at me silently. I miss who I thought she was, I continued. But I don't want her life. I don't want her back. I don't want the marriage we had. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. What do you want? I want you. She turned away. Why me? Because you saw me when I had nothing left to prove. That isn't enough. It is for me. She wiped her eyes. I saved you. No. She looked at me. I didn't. You helped me. That sounds like the same thing. It isn't. I took her hand. You didn't save me. I saved myself. She stared at our hands. Then what did I do? You gave me a reason to believe love could still exist. She closed her eyes. I love you. The words came quietly. I smiled. Say it again. I love you. I laughed softly. I wanted to hear that. She smiled through her tears. But I'm still afraid. Then we'll be afraid together. She looked at me. Together? Yes. What happens if we fail? We learn. What if we hurt each other? We talk. What if you change? I probably will. She laughed. At least you're honest. I promised myself I would never lie to someone I love again. She looked at me for a long moment. Ethan, I don't want to be your reason for living. You aren't. I don't want you to depend on me. I don't. Then what am I? My choice. That answer finally broke through her walls. She stepped into my arms. I held her carefully. For the first time, I wasn't holding someone because I was afraid they would leave. I was holding someone because I wanted to stay. Before I proposed, I spent many nights questioning myself. One night, Mia found me working late. You're thinking too much. I always do. About Victoria? Yes. Are you afraid? Yes. Of marriage? No. Then what? Of hurting her? Mia sad bisi deme. You can't guarantee that. I know. Then why are you waiting for perfection? I don't want to repeat my past. You won't. How can you know? Because you aren't the same man anymore. I looked at her. What if I become bitter again? Then we'll remind you who you are. Dad entered the room. She is right. I smiled. Did you two plan this? No, Dad said. But your sister has been giving you advice for months. Mia laughed. Someone has to. Dad looked serious. Son, marriage isn't a reward for surviving betrayal. I know. It's a promise to build something better. I nodded. I want that. Then don't make Victoria pay for Claire's mistakes. I won't. Good. That night, I called Victoria.